All right, guys, episode 38 of the podcast with the homie Mojee. We tried doing this about 2 weeks ago, and the audio just was not listenable, so we redid it today, and it was dope. What stood out to me was his upbringing and just how he uses that upbringing as motivation to what he's doing now, and for as music wise, and then just his life in general. So I definitely related to that, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation. And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right. Peace. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Hell yeah, we back.
Yeah.
We made it work.
So yeah, the last time we did it, so it was like 20 minutes of just like the conversation, and then out of nowhere the video or the audio started cutting in and out. So I was like, damn, like
Yeah, we had a good one.
we did.
It was a
But
good piece.
This one's about to be better.
I was gonna say there's nothing wrong with doing it again. I'm down.
Hell yeah. But I mean, like, how's everything? Because with the whole situation, you guys are good.
Yeah, everything's good. It was a little bit of a scare, but
Same.
everything panned out. Everything was, it was more precautionary than anything, just to make sure that, everything was okay with other family members that I have, because we got my mom and dad are a little bit older, so we're just making sure that we were good and healthy, and before we went around anybody. So
Yeah.
but it was good. Everything's fine now. Everyone's healthy.
That's good to hear,
Yeah.
bro. Because it happened to me. There was like a little scare within my family too. My mom caught it, and it was pretty bad. But
Yeah.
she's back. She's healthy, so
Hell yeah.
it's good. It's good. We're good.
Hell yeah. She's a fighter, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I'm glad everyone's good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I mean, things have been, not much has changed. I think from last time, I think I was talking to you about a little series I was releasing, like a little three video song / 3 songs on like one project. Ended up releasing that, and it went well and got a lot of good feedback, so it was cool.
Did you promote it or anything? Because I don't think I seen like anything that was on Instagram or anything. Because besides that one post.
I didn't promote it like largely. I probably should do it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because it is my little passion project. But yeah, it's out on YouTube right now. I didn't put it on Spotify, just because I wanted to just have it more of a visual experience.
I see.
I think the songs themselves are really good, but I think the visual part of it was a little more something that I wanted the audience to be geared towards.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'll definitely take note of that. I got to push that out more.
Yeah, push it, bro. 'Cause that's
Yeah.
Check. All right, that sounds a lot
There
better.
we go. There it is.
There it is. But I mean, we can kind of go through like your story beforehand, because we did the first time, but it didn't catch. So
Yeah.
it was in Santa Barbara, right? That you met your producer and videographer, right?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
well, the videographer, I guess I'll start with first, because that's where everything kind of started. Was we were doing a website at the time, so we were already, entrepreneurs. We had already wanted to do that route of life. He had just ended up getting out of school because of an injury. I had previously dropped out of what I was doing in nursing school because, like I think we talked about it earlier, like philosophy, dove headfirst into like the meaning of life, and really checking myself if what I was doing was what I wanted to do for not just the rest of my life, but if it was making me happy. So
Yeah.
I ended up meeting my best friend and videographer through just that route of trying to be entrepreneurs. We ended up starting this website called Young and Self-Employed. And then we tried to do a podcast. And so what happened was we ended up not following through with the podcast, but we still had a mic. And I was like, how do I spread a message to people without being like too overbearing and in their face?
Yeah.
And it just landed on rap.
What was the podcast about?
Just stuff, man, like entrepreneurship, like self-development, how to just better your life and to take control of a lot of the stuff that you guys are doing. A lot of the stuff, like having just people on that are on that route of, self-employment, of taking an idea and creating it and building it into something that they can monetize and live off of. So we were talking about philosophy. We were talking about businesses that were booming at the time. A lot of stuff surrounded Steve Jobs and Apple and just a bunch of other stuff.
Shout out Steve Jobs, bro.
Yeah, for real.
I remember watching RP too. one of the videos where he was like, once you recognize that you can like poke the world and like manipulate it,
Hmm.
then that's the I don't know, that I took a lot of inspiration from that, because you really can, man. It's like you pretty much create your reality, pretty much.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's it's a weird thing when you think about that, because I'm sure like with that, like a lot of people, you get to this. I was talking to my little brother about it the other day. I'll get back to the whole story thing in a minute, but
Yeah. Side note.
this is a good tangent.
Yeah.
But I was talking to my little brother about it the other day, and you know, I feel like a lot in your early, like mid-20s, you get to that point where you realize mortality, and you realize, you know, life isn't, whether you've gone through something traumatic before or you just start getting older, realizing, looking around, that life isn't promised.
Mm.
And I was talking to my little brother about it, and it's just like you get to that point when you're like, hey, maybe I just want to have fun, and is what I'm doing in life giving me that? Am I getting the reward back from life, that from all the work that I'm putting in?
Mm-hmm.
And it really makes you take a step back. Like you said, you can kind of just, if you just write everything down, if you have goals and set yourself, you know, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, you take a step back and like, damn, I can really get to that point in my life in a year
Yeah.
if I just set up the certain markers for where I need to be.
Yeah.
Granted, that's a lot easier said than done, but I
I
do like that outlook though, that outlook on life. Yeah.
Definitely, and like you said, having clear goals of where you want to be. Like
Hmm.
that's reading Arnold Schwarzenegger's book. He talked about that too, and he's like, yeah, having a clear vision of where you want to be, and then just putting in the work, and then
Hmm.
heading towards that goal.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's, I love that, man. And I think that's what makes life so fulfilling, is when you can, literally, that's what we are as humans, and the organisms that we are. And, you know, everything in life is continually growing. And I think we talked about this last time, like humans are the only ones that have a choice to not reach their full potential.
Yeah.
You know, everything else is like a tree grows as high as it can. An animal's constantly, you know, trying to survive and doing everything it can to do that.
Yeah.
We sometimes take a back seat, and like sometimes we're like, I don't want to do everything I can to get to where I need to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's like if you choose to commit fully to something, then you can have pretty much anything if you're willing to.
Yeah. And also another side note,
I love
we're
it.
going to go on side notes.
Yeah.
It just blows my mind that the stuff that's in, you could call it like physical reality,
Hmm.
besides nature, everything's created by man, which
Yeah.
is like,
Yeah.
that shit blows my mind.
We might just be here for a whole day talking about this shit, man.
Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Let me get back to
No,
like what
go-
you're
go to
saying.
it, go to it.
Because I think about that all the time. I'm like, everything just came out of the earth. Like everything here. It's weird. Or for the universe. But so I meet my buddy Corey, aka also a videographer, amazing kid. And then so I end up moving out of my parents' house just because I'm 23 at the time. I just turned 23. Nothing against my parents, love them, but I'm like, I need to get out. Like I need to go experience life a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Go to Santa Barbara because I'm like, okay, I'm doing music, and at the time it was the highest like population of kids living in a certain area
Sure.
within like the college and the college town in the United States or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyways, a lot of kids that are coming from all over the world that all live here. So our plan was, let's make some cool music, do some backyard shows. If we get popular enough, these kids go back to their home countries, their home states, and they spread the music like word of mouth.
Yeah.
And the first day or the first week, we're like in the backyard just hanging out, and all of a sudden this kid walks by and he's like, hey, just to let you guys know, I work on music, I'm a producer. If it's ever too loud, just let me know and I'll turn shit down. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. Like
Yeah.
I'm an aspiring rapper. And literally from the next day, we hung out the next day and just made music, and we've been making music.
What year was this?
2015. So yeah, going on 7 years now.
7 years.
Yeah, it's
Damn.
intense.
Shit. What was that moment like when you guys? It was just like he started playing beats, or did you hear him playing beats, or then you were like, "Yo, I make music." What was the conversation like?
Oh no, he literally yeah, so I'm just standing in my backyard, and he realized, I think, that we just moved in. So he just peeks his head over and he's like, just let you know, like I bump music hella loud, so don't call the cops on me, please.
Yeah.
And we're like, that works out because we do the same thing. And so it
Damn.
started there. And then I think later that night, my friend's like, hey, let's just have him over. So we text him. He comes over and he plays us a couple beats. I end up going over like the next day and like for months, just he would show me a beat. I'd rap on it. He'd show me a beat and we just ended up making a lot of music. So
It's fucking hard.
yeah, it was good, man. It was a good time.
Just like that house was just full of creative
Yeah.
energy and stuff, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the house that I was living in, we had myself, my other buddy who was a DJ, and then other good friends. Is she singing over here?
Is she? I think he's mixing something.
I like it.
Yeah,
This
he's
is
mixing
dope.
something. Yeah.
It's nice background ambiance.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we had another DJ that was living in the house, and it was just cool to be in that area. Like all the kids that were in Isla Vista. It's just a crazy like environment for just a lot of creativity. You could go down one street and there'd be kids DJing. There'd be guys literally out on their front lawn just mixing music. You'd walk down another street, there'd be a live band.
Mad people
Yeah.
out there, bro. It's crazy.
It was intense, man.
Yeah.
So you go anywhere, you can play a backyard show like any week if you wanted to. So it was a good time, and we literally would just go. My door is right here. His door was like 20 feet away from me. So we'd hop back and forth in between our houses and just create. And it was cool. It was a lot. Isla Vista was a lot.
Yeah.
I had to get out of there. A lot of stuff going on, but it ended up being the best thing that could ever happen, because we're still, like I said, we're still homies today, till this day, and yeah.
Fuck
it's
yeah.
dope.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. It reminds me of like kind of what we're doing. Like we have Whiskey and Blue next door, and then we have Ty, which is like down the room, and then David Moe and Red. So I definitely relate to you with just all the creative energy and like just mad people like just creating shit.
Yeah, man. I think once again we talked about this last time. I like that we're circling back.
Yeah, it's good.
But it's that the average of the 5 people you surround yourself by.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that's one of the biggest hacks in life, is if you can surround yourself by other people that are doing what it is that you want and have the things that you want and are the type of people you want to like be. I think that's really important too, is to surround yourself by people that have those characteristics of, the ultimate person you want to be.
Yeah.
Then you just naturally become that.
Dude.
As long as you're just around it all the time, you're either gonna meet that standard or you're gonna like slowly like fade out for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I think it's a beautiful thing. Like, don't get me wrong, you're gonna have your lifelong friends, and sometimes you go on different paths. But if it's meant to be, and you guys are, if you all really love each other, you always reconnect.
For sure.
But in terms of like careers and what you want to do passion wise, it's really important to have yourself surrounded by people that push you, people that inspire you, people that can help you get to the next level. And that's what I love about this place, man.
Yeah.
The Stew Crew.
It's Stew Crew.
It's
Shout out
dope.
Stew Crew.
Shout out the Stew Crew, man. You guys are dope.
Hell yeah. And yeah, just being surrounded by these guys like made me want to become better and just become like write better and like produce better. So yeah, it's fucking tight.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very important to have that in your life.
Yeah, for sure. And then so you meet the videographer, and then after that, what
was the next step?
Yeah.
So I guess at this point, have a producer, have a best friend videographer, both like become my best friends, and I end up going to LA after Santa Barbara because of the typical, you got to be in LA to be in music, which like looking back on it, I wish I could go back and tell 24-year-old me like, hey, you don't got to do that. But LA was its own experience. I go out there, and at the time I was driving back and forth to go see my girlfriend at the time and also just record. So I'd be writing in LA, and then I drive, the 2 hours to go out and record and then go be with her.
Yeah.
But it just got to the point where I was like, damn, man, like I really want to be able to just write and then record it on the spot.
Right there, yeah.
And so that's when I got into the LA recording school did a degree in music production, and learned a lot. Learned a lot, and got the right equipment in order to just record where I was.
Yeah.
And we had access to a lot of cool studios. So that was like the next step. And then I'm gonna burp. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Oh, I apologize.
Let it out.
I don't mean to burp in your ears. I'm gonna do it again.
Some ASMR.
Yeah. Today we're gonna produce a wonderful song for you. I was listening to that shit the other day. It's great but weird.
What is that?
ASMR?
Oh, ASMR.
Yeah,
Okay,
a little, like-
yeah. Fucking eating ASMR and shit.
It's a very interesting niche that took
Yeah,
off.
yeah, it
I like
did.
it's very satisfying though in a weird way. But yeah, so we're out in LA, and eventually it was just got to the point where once I was done with school, I was like, fuck it, I gotta get out of here. Like it's just this it's just like Isla Vista was. It was a fun time, but it's a nice place to visit, not to stay.
How would you compare if you were to compare the two areas, like LA and Isla Vista? Just the differences and also the similarities.
Similarities was a lot of people, a lot of like-minded people,
Yeah.
very like-minded people that you could get kind of, I wouldn't say lost, but you'd find yourself just having the time of your life. But it was very easy to ignore things that you needed to get done. So let me retrack and change my statement. But for me personally, those two places weren't conducive for me to get to be the best person I could be, because there was just so many distractions. I think a lot of people could make it work and have, but yeah, for me personally, it was just a lot of fun and a lot of just distraction from what it is that I really needed to be doing. And then LA, I just kind of, it was a lot for me. I'm a kid that grew up in this, Camarillo, like the suburbs, I guess you
Very
would say.
quiet.
Very quiet, very,
Chill,
relaxed.
relax, yeah.
Go sit in the park if you're that's literally what I would do. Run around the neighborhood, just playing in the park, this and that. And so literally, yeah, we lived next to a fire station, so I was going off every 10 minutes. You'd hear the sirens, you hear helicopters over your head, you hear people yelling at 2:00 in the morning. And so for me, it was a lot. And I had to get out and come back to like a more, calmed area, which I live in Camden now again. And it was nice because once before I left Camarillo, it was like, I don't want to be here. That was the whole reason I left. And then now my friends and I talk about it. We're like, dude, I wouldn't mind raising a family in this area, which is really weird. But
I always say like, yo, if I would love to have a house there, either to retire there or just to like live there for a bit, bro.
Yeah,
I would love to do that.
it's an amazing place. Are you LA or Camarillo?
Camarillo.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean, it's an amazing city, man. It's
Yeah.
it's just relaxed. You're 15 minutes away from the beach and the PCH. You're like if you want to go to LA, it's 50 minutes, an hour on a good day. You got Santa Barbara right up the road. So it's a good little halfway point between all the good stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, LA was cool. And then ended up coming back down here, making a studio at the place I live at now. And quarantine allowed for that. We had time to just build and, create a studio inside my room, which is the dream, the ultimate dream when we first started.
Yeah.
I was like, what if we could wake up and then just walk into the studio and just like plant our feet and just start recording? So it's very weird how far we've come, but it's never been like, it just kind of like just happened. Like everything kind of just like naturally happened. We had certain goals, but like as long as I feel like in life is you have something that you really want, as long as you just show up, like 80% of success, they say, show up, just show up no matter how bad you feel, no matter how, uninspired or how maybe you don't believe in yourself that week. Maybe you're not feeling like the best personally, but it's so weird that if you just show up, sometimes that is like the answer to everything. Like like sometimes if I'm depressed, like sometimes if I feel uninspired, sometimes if I'm feeling like I can't do it anymore, like what's the point? Literally, I'll just sit down and I'm like, fuck. And I start writing or I start, I hear a beat and all of a sudden it just all makes sense again.
Yeah.
And, but yeah.
Because even like I can relate that to the gym, where some days I'll feel like shit and like tired. I really don't want to go, but after the gym, it's like, bro, I feel really good. I feel I feel accomplished. I feel energized, honestly.
Yeah, all those
After,
endorphins kick in, and you're just
yeah,
like, yes.
for real.
Yeah, it's a but yeah, man. I love. I'm a huge advocate, like I said before, for what you guys are doing, and just for humans and people in general to just, you know, do what it is that they love, because that is so, like, you can live. That quote by Alan Watts: "It's better to live a short life the way you want than a long life in a miserable way."
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, dude, you live a short life full of like so much passion and you know, things that you really love doing, even if it's like, you know, you have crazy stories, but as long as you have, you know, those fulfilling moments of just doing what you loved and getting something back from it,
Mm-hmm.
like I'd take that over anything else any day.
For sure,
Yeah.
bro. And even because I work at a hospital, and sometimes I'll see people there like laying down. I'm like, bro, I wonder if they really lived the life that they wanted to live. You know,
Yeah.
like not having any regrets,
Yeah.
not chasing their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm like, I definitely do not want to have
Mm-hmm.
those thoughts even in my head. It's like I want to pursue and push anything that I set my mind to and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even and have no regrets.
Yeah. And
No regrets.
no regrets, man. Nah,
Get that tatted on me.
what is that from? Isn't that from The Office?
No, I think some dude got like no regrets tatted on his chest. Like he had a full on chest tattoo that
Yeah.
said that.
Hey.
But I don't know if it was on The Office either.
Either way, he doesn't want any kids, I guess. No little Rugrats running around. No Tommy Pickles. Yeah, man. I mean, just going like that's been the journey so far. I mean, nowadays it's a lot less. I mean, we started off wanting to be big and famous, and then now it's more of just, you know, as long as I can make a living off this, you know, and just have my peace of mind, my time freedom, and my financial freedom. I don't care about being like the next, you know, Drake, the next Kendrick, or this and that. It's if I can make a living off music and just do what I want when I want, that's more than enough for me.
Sure.
To just be able to say that I create something, I'm able to like monetize it in some shape or form, and it allows me to live my life. Like that's it.
So do you have like goals? I'm sure you do, but can you lay them out or like explain them? You know, as far as music wise and stuff. Like, what are your goals for music and stuff?
Let's see. Ultimate goal from music is just to be the best storyteller that I can.
Yeah.
I think it's very easy sometimes to you know, when you look around and you're like, what's popular, you know, and I'm gonna go do that, and then sometimes you lose. It's a lot easier, I feel like, to make music and make anything, like create it, like if you're an artist, to create anything when it comes from like a place inside. So for me personally, it's like the ultimate goal is to just create music that means something to me, while at the same time obviously taking in, you know, bits, you know, what do you call it, grains of salt from what is popular, and making it, you know, palatable for the overall audience, because I want people to listen.
Yeah.
But that's the ultimate goal. Just tell stories that are true, and, you know, hopefully it touches people. And with music right now, I feel like I'm in a good place in terms of writing and you know, making the music itself. But the ultimate goal now is to be more visual with it, and to create stuff that's like, right now I'm really working hard on trying to just film my own stuff. Because my friend is a videographer, and he does, you know, we live together, but at the same time, it's like the same thing with my recording. Like, if I really want to make something, I can't just, you know, wait for him to come back, you know, if he's off doing something. So I want to be able to be multifaceted and be able to do that myself.
Yeah.
So I can tell these stories and create them, you know, exactly how I envision them. Because sometimes it's hard to translate what it is that you're trying to get through.
Yeah.
But if you have like, you know this, you do camera work. So it's like when you have it's tangible to you, and you can like take exactly what's in here and put it into like, you know, like a visual form, it just makes it so much more beautiful and more fun.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of going back full circle, talking about how we create our reality, and also like whatever's in our mind, we could put it into this like 3-dimensional physical world that we're seeing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the bridge, man.
Yeah,
Like, we're the
it's
bridge
so
from
cool.
imagination to reality. It's like you just it's so weird, man. And I would just say that's the ultimate goal right now, is to just continue to, honor what it is that because there's days when there's months where this shit is hard and it's very, very hard. But the ultimate goal is to stay true to what it is that I'm setting out to do and to see it all the way through, because the past version of me, whether it was like my younger self, we were talking about this too, like, coming from where your upbringing and how hard that was, and my story and how hard it might have been for me, like to stay true to that kid that got us this far to where we are. And my ultimate goal is to just not give up on the vision that he had, my 12-year-old self, my 23-year-old self that wanted to be a hip hop artist and, see himself having a financially free life with this shit.
Yeah.
That's the ultimate goal, just to continue doing it and to give it my best and to not give up. Something more tangible, though, I definitely want to have by the end of this year. I want to have at least 10,000 monthly listeners on all platforms.
Yeah.
And then I also want to start kicking off my overall brand of Mojee and getting like merch done and stuff like that. And then also throwing shows in between.
Hell yeah, dude. Shows, fuck.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Can we get into a little bit of like the backstory of your childhood and stuff? Because I know we talked about it, but for the podcast, like, what was the question? I think you asked the question. It was like, what really motivates you, or
you know? We were talking about like our why, and like what keeps us going. But yeah, for me, I when I was 12, I was diagnosed with leukemia, which is a type of blood cancer. I don't really know too much about it. It was literally one of those situations where, we found out I had this going on, and my dad kind of just took me and had me focus more on just getting better. And my mom handled all the medical side. I'd show up for my chemo treatments. I'd show up for my blood transfusions. Pretty much just go wherever my mom told me, and we'd go to the hospital, get all the stuff done. And then when I was done, my dad would take me and go play baseball, which was what I was doing like my whole childhood up until I was like 20 was baseball. So we just focused on that. But my why is I remember there was a moment when I was first found out. I went to the bathroom, I was praying, saying, like, Lord, like, please, if this is what's going on, like, I don't want to die. Like, I want to be able to see my friends again. I want to be able to play baseball again. I want to fall in love. And I remember breaking down in the bathroom that night. And it was the one time that I really cried about the whole situation.
Yeah.
And then after I got out, it was like literally like when I got out of that bathroom, it was just like everything was focused on just getting better. And that's my why, is for that kid that was breaking down in the bathroom, praying to God, like, I want to fall in love. I want to make, I want to see my friends and my family. I want to play sports. Like, I want to continue living and doing, committing to the life that I really want, for that kid.
Yeah.
Because he went through all the fucking chemo. He went through all the, the hard parts to get me where I am now, healthy and, alive and, able to just be here. So that's the why at the end of the day.
For sure, man. That's beautiful, dude.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
But like you were talking about with your upbringing, man, it's like everyone has, I feel like that fire under them.
Yeah.
To where it was like there's something that in all of us, there's something in us that we can revert back to and be like, shit, like, I've been through some stuff.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, trauma or just overcoming obstacles and things that have been hard in our lives. Those are like, all of that stuff might have been negative, but it's such a good thing to look back at and be like, damn, I'm still here.
Yeah.
I've overcome all these things, and like, it's just making me stronger. Like, every obstacle, every thing that gets in my way, when I can overcome it, because I have, and I'm going to continue to.
For sure. But
yeah.
A lot of the music I make is for that kid that was, just, I wouldn't say depressed, but like really in a not so good mood. And just, feeling alone, feeling like not wanting to move forward. So a lot of the music that I make is for that kid. It's like, and then, for people that can relate to that, it's like, dude, that's really cool. Also, having people can take something from the music and
dude, I was gonna say, like, for each of our, like, I have my experience, but with yours too, it's like, like, there's a kid out there that will listen to your music or see one of your visuals, and they'll be like, damn, like, he came from the same place I did.
Yeah.
And whether he'll hear that, he, she, whoever will hear it, and they'll be like, if they can do it, they're a prime example that they are able to create this thing, whatever, like create these projects and create this sound and music,
Yeah.
and they came from where I came.
Yeah.
Like, damn, like they're like, I can do that too.
That's so cool, dude.
And it's cool to be like, you don't have to be, you know, famous. I feel like to be a role model in people's lives. Like, you don't have to be famous to be a mentor. You know, sometimes you can change like one person's life, and if you can change that one person's life, you have no idea how many other people are they're gonna touch from you just helping them out.
Yeah.
Or just being kind to them in, I don't know, like just in a day-to-day process, like, you know, helping them hold a door for them, you know, or something, and that can change like someone's entire day.
Yeah.
And or seeing, you know, someone like you that came from your that were like your upbringing, and someone seeing that and hearing it in the music, and then be like, shit, like he felt the same way I did that I'm feeling right now, and he's making music about it. He looks like he's doing better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a motivating thing.
Yeah, and then also I think if I was a kid, like I would want that person to like, I wish there was a person like that to help kind of sort of help me out and be that, you know, sort of guide, or I don't know what you would call it, like lighthouse, you would say, to like guide you in a certain direction.
That's a good metaphor right there.
Yeah,
man. I like that.
yeah,
No, a lighthouse. That's perfect, because yeah, you're like that beacon for people that are out there maybe lost a little bit, and they're like, if I can only get there, maybe if I can make it there to that wherever that light's coming from,
Yeah.
I can figure some shit out.
for sure, dude.
But I like what you said there, because I feel like I really like where social media is going. I know a lot of people don't like social media, but the way I've always looked at it is it's this place lately where it's just like one big venting session.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like everyone's kind of, whether we want to judge people or not, like there's a lot of stuff that people post where it's kind of like them just talking, like just letting stuff out. Like they're like, you know, they see something inspirational and they post it, and it's kind of like a way to just like
project,
like just get it, like, you know,
Yeah.
like reaffirm it to themselves, like, hey man, this helped me out. Like I'm gonna put it on my story. Maybe it's gonna help someone else.
yeah,
And I love that about, you know, social media now. But like you were saying, there's something to be said about being the person, like, and this is why I'm reverting back to social media, but
yeah,
the posts that you see all the time where it's like, be the person you needed when you were younger. And
yeah.
if you can be that person now for the people that might need you, because yeah, maybe you grew up and you didn't have the best upbringing. Maybe you didn't have your parents in your life or a loving family. They say you don't choose, you know, the family you're brought up in, but you choose how you deal with it. And yeah, if you can be that person that you needed when you were younger, it like, I feel like it heals a lot.
It does. It really
It
does.
heals a lot of resentment that might be in the body and soul. And it just takes, I feel like, a huge weight off your back, because then you realize like, shit, I don't need anybody to save me.
Yeah,
But I can be there for myself and maybe help someone else in the process.
exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah, I like the way you put that.
Yeah, thank you, dude.
Lighthouses, man.
Dude,
I
definitely,
like
man.
that.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Cheers
for
to
real.
that, bro.
100%, man. Little air cheers. There we go. But yeah, man. I forgot what that question was that we tangented off of, but the why.
Yeah, the why. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much it, man. Just for that kid, just want to keep living as much as possible. So
Yeah. What? So it's the music, and then is there anything else like kind of outside the music that you're working on, like
just myself.
yourself? Yeah.
I mean, I'm constantly trying to, you know, I'm a human. I make a lot of mistakes in life, and I have made a lot of mistakes. Like I've hurt a lot of people, and I've also, you know, I know I'm also a really good person, but there's a balance to all that, and I think that consistently, and I'm just trying to be the best person I possibly can, you know, while also forgiving myself for things that I've, you know, might have screwed up in the past. So, and I think that translates into the music. You know, I feel like a lot of the stuff that I write about, like pretty much everything, I think that maybe you can attest for this too. A lot of the stuff that you experience in your life or the things that you're learning gets tossed into your music.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
that's why I love reading. I think there you go. That's something I like to do outside of music.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
I love reading. I love watching random like just getting a little high and watching philosophical little clips on YouTube about like 10 facts about Taoism or something like this.
All
And
lit.
yeah, so I've been getting into Taoism. Taoism, I think it's Taoism, but a lot of
The way.
the way like and a lot of the principles that go behind it, and really just studying different. I love studying different religions and
Me
seeing
too.
how everything really connects at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's like some guy just took it and formed his own version, and then some other person did it.
Going
But
back to
that's
the sorry to cut you off. The
you're
the,
good.
the Egyptians in the pyramids.
Yeah.
A lot of the stories, kind of like the Great Flood and this thing of like an asteroid hitting Earth,
Uh huh.
and then the Great Flood appears. A lot of that comes into play with different cultures and religions as well.
Yeah.
So like I feel we're gonna go on another tangent.
Let's do it, man. I'm buckled up. Let's do it.
Yeah, it plays into a lot of the different religions that I think happened. I think there was a certain point in time where that actually happened,
Hmm.
and people are just trying to tell their perspective of the story in a
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
which blows my mind.
That is weird, huh? To
Yeah.
think about, like,
Yeah.
damn, like, it is just very interesting to think about the history of who we are as a species and how far we've come and all the stuff that's happened in between.
Yeah.
I remember watching you had another guy on here that was talking about, wouldn't it be cool if we had like Marcus Aurelius and like all these other guys like available to sit down?
Who was that, bro?
It was a recent one that you did. It was like maybe 3 ago. I don't know, but he
Oh,
came,
it was Aaron Birch.
okay.
Shout out Aaron Birch.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
I watched a portion of it, and I was just
Yeah.
like, damn, I agree with that, because
Yeah.
it'd be cool just to have like, what if you turned on the Joe Rogan Experience and he had Einstein on there,
Yeah.
and they were just like shooting the shit about the theory of relativity, and like you're like, what the fuck? That'd be crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's like, so that's what I'm doing when I'm not working on music. I'm just trying to consistently learn. And right now, shout out to Matthew McConaughey, but
Hey.
I'm reading a book called Green Lights that he wrote.
Uh-huh.
And the coolest part about, I think, podcasts, and I think also about memoirs and books that celebrities write,
Mhm.
is that you get a sense that these people are so human.
I know. Yeah,
Like,
dude.
so you look at them and you're like, damn, like, because they're usually on this pedestal. But a lot of what, like, I love podcasts and I love stuff like this because you really get the sense of be like, damn, that person's just another guy, another person
Yeah.
that just is making their way through life, figuring it out.
Yeah.
And Green Lights has been really cool because I love Matthew McConaughey. From I remember I liked him before Interstellar, but I remember seeing Interstellar and I was like, dude, this guy.
Yeah.
Obviously there's a lot of people that went into that movie, but I was like, I like the way this guy carries himself. Looked into other things. My buddy got me Green Lights for my birthday,
Yeah.
and just reading it and reading where he's came from. Another
His
thing,
story.
like, yeah, his story, like we
Yeah.
were talking about. Like,
Yeah.
I'm reading this story and I'm just like, damn, dude, like he's been through some shit.
Mm.
Like a lot of shit that I haven't been through. A lot of
Yeah.
harder things and he just carries himself like, such a gentleman, such like a top tier dude.
Yeah.
And you would think that someone that went through so much stuff that he did, even like I'm like halfway through, you're like, damn, like it would be really easy to be resentful
Yeah.
with all that happening. But
Yeah.
then you're like, this guy's the opposite of it. Well put together guy, Texan dude that carries himself well as a gentleman.
Yeah.
Gets his shit done. Is like a professional at his craft. So
Yeah.
it's inspiring to see stuff like that. So huge advocate for reading, and Matthew McConaughey, I like your book. I'll do your audiobook if you want me to. Mojee, I got you.
Yeah, let's go. Dude, yeah, man, and like kind of going back to what we were saying about drawing inspiration from other people's stories. Those kind of stories, the come up and just learning from where they are to where they are now, like it's really inspiring, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
And-
Tony Stark, the dude from Dave's Killer Bread. I don't know if you eat that, but I think he was doing like a lot of heroin, and then
Wait, his name's Tony Stark?
no. I mean, not Tony Stark. Fucking, what's his name?
Oh, the guy from Dave's Killer Bread?
No, Iron Man.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
I'm just naming names.
Gotcha. Okay, my bad.
And then the guy that made Dave's Killer Bread.
Yeah.
He was like in prison and he was doing like heroin, and then like, I don't know.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's also crazy because I was literally looking at a bag of Dave's Killer Bread today when I was
Really?
Yeah, I went to go
Oh,
buy.
okay.
I went to go do grocery shopping, and I was like, I haven't had that yet, but I keep seeing commercials about it.
It's,
Is it good? Do you
it's
like
great. I like the bagels because they have protein in them
it? Okay.
and organic. So
Hell yeah.
shout out to Dave's Killer Bread.
Yeah, we're just plugging everybody today, man. This
Sponsor the
podcast is
podcast.
sponsored by Dave's Killer Bread and Matthew McConaughey eating Dave's Killer Bread.
Let's go.
All right, all right, all right. It's some good bread. Oh man. All right. But yeah, man. Like Robert Downey Jr. definitely comeback story, and like you said, like it's so cool to see where people have came from, but that's why I love social media these days, and I love, the it's like a veils kind of, even though like a lot I don't know, I feel like people are feeling like they're more, being, what would you say, tracked and stuff by government. But at the same time, I feel like there's a huge veil that's being lifted about like life a lot more. We're all like a lot more connected than we used to think.
Yeah.
Like the whole world is kind of operating at the same time now. Like when COVID happened, my buddy and I were sitting in the living room. We're like, this is fucking crazy. Like we don't have to do anything. Like even if we wanted to do anything, we couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then we're like, wait, the whole world's like this right now.
Yeah, dude. It's like it blows my mind because this is how I think about it. It's like this world that we're living in, like the physical world, and then there's a fucking world within the internet. Where, like we're all kind of living through, and then sort of like then it's gonna progress to virtual reality. I think, which is like we're all gonna be implemented in this sort of,
oh my god,
this in like this world,
the world that's like the Matrix.
the Matrix. Yeah.
Dude, is it just a coincidence that they're releasing the fourth one then?
Ooh, dude, I'm so fucking excited
I'm
about
stoked
that,
for
bro.
that too. I remember seeing the.
Fuck.
I saw the. It was like one of the few times I've turned on like a YouTube video and then like took a step back. I'm like, I'm not gonna skip this, because then I saw Keanu and I was just like, oh shit, dude,
Yeah.
It's going down. It's gonna be, and damn, I mean, the Matrix. If you haven't seen it, or if you saw it when you were a kid and you haven't seen it since, seeing it as an adult, it's a fucking trip.
Oh shit, yeah, dude.
Oh my god! Like when
Yeah.
you're a kid, you're like, oh yeah, Neo the one dodging bullets, like that's cool. And when you see it when you're an adult, you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
like what the fuck? And you like take a step back and you're like, oh shit, maybe this is a simulation.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
It's like social media. Going back to social media, I feel like it depends on whoever's using it, just their intent on using it. It's like, cause like you said, there is bad stuff, but there is also good stuff. So
100%.
it's like just that balance, and also for following the right pages too.
Yep, that's a huge one, man.
Yeah.
I think that's something that's not talked about enough, because are we good on audio? I just have PTSD now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No, we're good. We're
Okay,
good.
okay, cool.
Yeah, we're picking up.
Oh, like, this is dope.
I just got a new PC. Yeah, so we're good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
I
that we'll find out. Either way, we'll just keep talking.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge thing that's underrated,
I
because
do have sorry. I have
Right?
PTSD too,
yeah,
man.
I'm like, fuck.
I
I'm
was-
like checking every time if the signal's good.
Yeah.
But we're chilling. Okay. Yeah, it's just like it goes back to the whole average people that you're surrounded by, but you also, on the internet and on social media, like you have the choice to follow certain people, and you have the choice that you can unfollow certain people.
Yeah.
And I think that, yeah, like, dude, if you're following like success pages, or if you're following like this like things that interest you a lot, like it's an easy way to just once again hack your life. Like I'm in love with cooking now. Like my buddy and I
Oh, that's dope.
are fucking cooking steaks all the time, and
Fuck yeah.
that's like one of the biggest things in our household right now, is just like trying to learn other dishes and this and that.
It's
So
lit.
if you look at my explore page, it's probably a mixture between like music, philosophy, and then a bunch of like food channels. That's just, there's a bunch of different food channels and shit.
Yeah.
So my page is pretty interesting. If they are tracking me, they're like, this guy likes music, but he also likes to eat a lot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, give me a cooking show, man. I want to be Action Bronson.
My
so
homie
bad.
is actually gonna start a cooking show, so it'd be dope. Like,
Is he really?
yeah,
Hell yeah.
like on YouTube. His name's Raphael. Raphael Tavira. Shout out to you.
Shout out Raphael.
Yeah, he's planning on doing a cooking show, so I'm really excited to see how that turns out.
That's gonna be
Because
awesome.
he's a chef. He works at Slate in Camarillo, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's he doing it with? I think I just met this guy.
Really?
He goes by Raphael, or
Raphael Tavira.
Huh.
Yeah, he works at Slate. He's a chef at Slate.
Is there a guy named Mac that's involved with it?
I'm not sure. I don't know like the business side,
Okay.
but I know that he's a chef there, and
Damn,
yeah.
that's intense. Because I just met a guy from Slate the other day while I was working on a film, on like a video with my buddies out in LA, and we're
Mhm.
just like, that's a small world. Like you're from fucking Oxnard,
Yeah.
and everyone else there didn't know where Oxnard was.
Oh, okay.
And then like me and my other buddy were just like, hey, we know, and so we started chopping it up.
Yeah,
But
that's a homie.
good for
Raphael.
him. Hell yeah, man. That's sick.
So future plans, bro. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, if he needs a guest, I'm more than willing to just go on there and eat some food, man.
yeah,
Hit me up. I'm there.
for sure.
But yeah, dude. I mean, I think that's a good point to let people know about is just the when you have social media, you can, really be cautious of what kind of rabbit holes you fall down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a huge advocate for garbage in, garbage out. Like what you're
That's
taking,
good.
yeah, what you're taking in. Ooh, is it just really loud because of
That's
the mic?
so that's the guy here opening up.
Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah.
I thought like shit was getting like crashing out there or
Oh
something.
no, yeah.
But yeah, so I'm a huge advocate for that. I love I don't love the news, so I don't watch it.
Mhm.
I try to keep up with current events my own way, but it's like my parents and I feel like the generation before us used to watch a lot of like the tabloid stuff on E News and like these TMZ and all this shit,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a bunch of just like
Just gossip.
gossip about
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like people will spend their whole week, their whole day talking about other people.
yeah.
And then it's like nothing wrong. Like obviously, like you choose to do with what you want to do with your life. I do it too. Like I'm not gonna say I'm perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
I talk about other people at times, but it's like there's so many other amazing things that could be talked about. Like
Yeah.
just talking about what were we talking about earlier? Like the Matrix or this,
Uh-huh.
like just talking about goals and surrounding yourself by people that can help you get to where you want to go.
Yeah.
And so choosing to like kind of cut that stuff out, even though it might be hard if it's a habit.
Yeah.
But that helps so much because then you can really focus on what it is that you're trying to do
Yeah, yeah.
instead of like focusing on everyone else and what they're doing.
'Cause-
So
yeah, I feel that because it's energy and time that you're wasting that you could be improving your life with.
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like time is like your most valuable asset.
Yep.
And the Buddha said it. I don't know if the Buddha actually said it, but
There's
he
a lot of
says-
quotes
There's a lot of things
yeah.
that are probably just tagged like Buddha.
Buddha.
Like the apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Buddha.
Like there's probably so many quotes like that. Like I see some stuff that are posted online. I'm like, did that person actually say that?
Yeah,
Or like
yeah.
those fake tweets that people put. I'm
Like on the face.
I'm like, there's no way that guy said that, and I'll have to like fact check it.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Buddha, like one of those quotes is the problem is you think you have enough time. And that's like one of the biggest things I try to remind myself is like, oh, I can do it tomorrow. I can take that trip when everything seems right. Like when
Yeah.
everything's balanced, I have enough money in the bank. Like, when I'm stable, then I can do it.
Yeah.
And it's such a trap because then you find yourself continuously putting off the things that you want because there's
Yeah.
always tomorrow. But if you live literally your lot like every day like it's your last, a la Steve Jobs again.
Yeah.
If you live every day like it's your last, like everything is more of just like what do I want to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, obviously take care of yourself, make sure you have a roof over your head and a place to sleep at night, but like have fun. Like
For
this
sure.
it's all a playground, man. This whole place is just a place to create and just have fun.
Yeah.
I think we forget that at times is that we never left being kids. Like, there's no reason that you can't still have fun and travel and create or just go out and fucking run around with your friends and just have a good time.
Yeah. Dude.
Like, yeah, be an adult, be responsible, set a good example. But if you're living with a good heart, everything else gets taken care of.
Yeah.
I feel like, if you're coming from a good place, like everything else kind of gets balanced out with that.
Yeah.
So,
And to say it another way, I got it tattooed on me. Memento mori, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
yeah. You're gonna die. Remember that you're gonna die.
yeah, that's a good. I've seen that a lot. Because doesn't The Weeknd have that as like a separate brand?
Does he?
He has like a separate moment. How do you pronounce it? Memento mori?
Yeah, memento mori.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mori.
It's a good. I keep finding that in like little pockets of my life, but I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
That it's just like, yeah, it's a reminder of like, hey, like this isn't permanent.
Yeah.
Like have fun. Like just, and it's hard not to stress about stuff. Like don't get me wrong, like I get it. Like I stress about shit way too much. And my tattoo, talking about tattoos that we
Yeah.
have to remind ourselves about things. But my biggest tattoo that I like is Be Here,
Oh, that's
because
lit.
my biggest I have anxiety when it comes to like, certain aspects of my life. For the most part, I'm pretty laid back and easygoing, but
Mhm.
dude, there's nights where, you'll find me upstairs just fucking stressing out about God
Mm.
knows what, like just life, where I'm at in life. Maybe I got too high. And I'm
I
just
know that
stressing,
feeling.
like when you get too high and you're like just stressing out for no reason, and you
Yeah.
wake up in the morning, you're like, what the fuck was I thinking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
But yeah, so I just had, just like you, I have Be Here tatted on me, because it's like sometimes if I find myself like too anxious about a future event or about like getting a project done on time, I have to just remind myself like, okay, be here.
Mm.
Remember, bring yourself back to the current moment.
Present.
Be present. Take a deep breath, and then really be objective about, the reality that you're in right now.
Mm.
Because the reality is everything's going to be fine. Like you're going to figure it out. Whatever it is that you're worried about, you're going to figure it out. And like you're smart enough, you're capable enough to do whatever it is that you're stressing about.
Yeah.
So,
No, yeah, that's really good, bro.
but yeah.
And just having I would say faith, bro. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
like everything's gonna be good, and just believing in yourself too, man. Like
100%.
that's what I do to sort of remind myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the big room. Yeah. What do you do if? I mean, obviously we have our whys, but is that like your biggest? What would you say? Like anchor is just remind yourself, just believing in yourself to get like projects done, or like what goals are you headed towards right now in terms
Um,
of?
for me, it's just working on that album that's dropping December, and I do think having dates like really fucking it has sets a fire in your ass for sure.
It does, man.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So that dropping in December. So I'm working towards that, and then
Mm-hmm.
also just doing podcast stuff. So trying to upgrade equipment, trying to get better at conversations.
Mm-hmm.
So there's different like areas and different goals in my life. Like I'll have like there's outside of music, there's the gym, which I want to like get stronger. I want to right now I'm bulking, so
Mm-hmm.
I like to separate my life into different categories and then just work on those
Gotcha.
like as I go. And then also like with money, it's like I want to invest more. I want to hopefully buy a house soon. So
That's dope, dude.
yeah,
Those are big goals.
yeah,
I
yeah.
like that. I like that you're focused on separating the goals though too, because I think that's a huge thing to do, to have like your personal, your fitness, health and wealth, family, and then like career goals.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then like like the way that you're talking, like it helps you really focus in on each one instead of having like this big sheet that's all mixed together.
Yeah, I learned that
Of
from Ty Lopez actually. He talks
oh
about
yeah.
yeah, we didn't we talk about this too? I
No,
think.
I don't think we talked
No?
about this one, but I just remember I just forgot. I haven't heard Ty Lopez in a long time.
Yeah.
He's the guy with the Ferrari cars,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
here in my garage.
Good dude though. He got so much shit,
He
but
did, man.
he's a good guy. I feel like he means well.
So I like did a little deep dive into his courses and
Hmm.
then just hit the videos that he would post, and then he would talk about, the obviously this is just like a structure that you can live your life for.
Yeah.
It's health, wealth, love, and happiness. So kind of like separating those different categories of your life, and then just
Uh-huh.
working on those, like health wise, fitness wise, health, your wealth wise, your love life, friendship wise, and then happiness. Like, are you good?
Yeah.
So like that's what I took from him, and then just applied it to my life.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah,
And it's all going well. How you
yeah,
liking
it's
the
good.
process?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I'm loving it, dude.
Hell yeah.
I'm in a fucking great place. Just happy to be surrounded by a bunch of great people.
Hmm.
It's fucking now. I feel like it's go time right now, dude. It's
Yeah.
like, like me and you, like we're still fucking young, bro, and like
Yeah.
we have the energy, we have the time. Fucking
We do, man. I agree with that 100%.
yeah,
Yeah, you feel like you're on a launching pad right now, huh?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that's awesome. Because I feel like you get to a point with your skill set where it's past how do I do all these things, and then it's like what do I want to do with all these things? Like there's that like when I first started doing music, it was like how am I gonna record, or how do I make it sound? My biggest thing my biggest frustration when I was coming up as an artist was I'd hear a song that I really liked,
Mm.
and it would be like, I want to make that. Like, I want to make it sound like that. And then when I would
Mm.
make it, it didn't sound like that. It sounded like a
Yeah.
bunch of just jumble.
Noise.
Just a bunch of noise that was mixed up and horribly mixed and too
Yeah.
bassy and too, fucking high end was through the roof.
Dude, mixing, yeah, for sure.
Mixing's tough.
Yeah.
And it's still tough. I have a
Yeah.
hard. The
Me
other
too.
night, I was trying to master this song for like I told my producer, because I'm trying to get like once again more independent, and I told him I was like, hey, like I love you, but you gotta let me. I need to learn how to do this stuff, or else I'm never gonna, take full reins of it. And so he's dealing with more important things right now, and he like gave me the freedom. But I texted him, I was like, dude, fuck mastering. This shit's so hard. And
I feel that so much, bro.
but it's you realize why people that master that do it well, that you have to pay some money for it because
Yep.
it's not easy.
Yep.
People work very hard to get to those certain presets or templates that they create for themselves in order to have a good sound. But yeah, going back to just like developing a skill set, and like I feel like we've made it past like the bulk of developing it to now it's like more of like a manicuring it,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
really
yeah.
just like manicuring it to the like to what it is we exactly want. Because yeah, dude, I used to want to make music, and I would like put my headphones on, I'd hear like some weekend stuff or like
Yeah.
something that J. Cole put out, and I was like, I want to sound like that.
Yeah.
And then I'd record or I'd make a beat, and I'd be like, that sounds like shit. And then I'd be like, fuck, and I'd just lay there and be like, god damn it, this is hard. And then now I think it's at the point where it's like I'm close.
Yeah.
And just with you, I'm sorry to cut you off. My bad.
No, I was burping.
But yeah, with you too, man, it's like you're at that point where it's like you have your camera shit down, you got music down. Now it's like where do we want to go with this? Like you're on,
Exactly,
you got the
dude.
vehicle set and built. Now it's like where do we want to go?
Yeah, that's a
So-
great analogy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But hell yeah, I'm happy for you, dude.
Dude, you too, bro.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're fucking. It's like you said. It's great to see people pursuing what they love to do, bro. Because I feel like a lot of people have that in the back of their mind, but then they're like, "How do I like?" It just starting it. It's like, how do I get started? How do I? The hardest part is starting. I feel like.
Yep. Hardest part is just sitting down. Like anybody that's went to school knows that fucking 8-page essay that usually gets done on the last day, or you're
Yeah.
up at 12 o'clock, or you're up at like 11:30 trying to finish the last page.
Yeah.
It's like the hardest part is just sitting down and doing it.
Yeah.
And then once you start doing it, you're like, why the fuck did I do this wrong?
Yeah.
So, damn, you lead me down so many tangents, dude.
I love that, dude.
You got great topics.
Yeah.
But going off what you said, like the starting point is very hard. And I think a lot of people don't start because they're afraid of how long it'll take to get to where they want to go.
That too. Yeah.
I think there's, sometimes we set goals that are so outlandish, where it's like, damn, dude, I want to be a bodybuilder. And like, let's say you're just not there. You're like physically, like you're just starting out. And
Yeah.
to say like, I want to be a bodybuilder, like fucking Arnold, like all these guys that are just on top of Mr. Olympia and all that shit, like
And then someone says like, "Yo, this is gonna take you like 7 to
years
10 years, bro."
and hard work and
Hard work,
dedication and
yeah.
sacrifice. You're not going to eat a fucking carb. You're like, you're not going to taste sugar, dude. And then you're just like, whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And then people, sometimes we don't start. But I think I remember watching, I got really into The Secret right out of college. Like a good friend of mine knew I was going through some shit. And he's like, hey, man, this is a book that helped me out. My cousin introduced me to it. I want you to read it. I was like, all right, sure. And I read it, and there was this one portion where I think he's a doctor. I'm like, I don't know, but they were talking about visualizing and the power of visualizing, the power of like understanding, like really having, like we're talking about goal setting before, but really like visualizing what it is that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And what he talks about is you have to picture like your end goal as like an actual destination, and like you're in a vehicle. Like let's say you're either walking there, you're driving a car or riding a bike. And because like let's say we're driving to Las Vegas, this is metaphor, like Las Vegas is there.
Yep.
Like it's there, it's not going anywhere, God forbid. And so the only thing that's really getting in the way of that is how long it's going to take you to get there.
Yeah.
And if you're driving at night, his thing is you have your high beams on or you have your lights on. You can only see like 200 feet in front of you. But that's all you really need.
Yeah.
As long as you know, as long as you have that goal set and you can see like that next 200 feet and then the next 200 feet and then the next 200 feet. Now all it is you just showing up.
Yeah.
Now it's just, hey, like if I just get started and I make little steps every day, I'm going to get closer to Vegas. I'm going to get closer to gambling. That's not the goal. But end goal is like, yeah, it's like if you have an end goal and you just set little goals, little, things you can reach along the way, then it becomes much more tangible. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, I want to be a bodybuilder. Okay, how long do you want that to take? 7 years? Great. Okay, break that down into months. What are you going to do, or years? What are you going to do in the first year? Break that down into months. What are you going to do month by month?
Yeah.
And then week by week and day by day. And if you can do that, like we started this whole conversation off about, then you can kind of like manipulate yourself into getting there.
Yeah, dude.
Just fucking, yeah, life's crazy, dude. Mr. Anderson's right here in front of me too. Look
Fucking Mr. Smith.
Or Mr. Smith, Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
That's crazy, dude. Damn, you
He's
got
just
a lot of.
right there.
You got Rick and Morty. You got Mr. Smith.
Fucking Yugi.
Yugi, I like it.
Vegito.
Is that Boba Fett? Who's that over there? Oh, is that Pickle Rick?
Oh, yeah, it's Pickle
Oh,
Rick.
Pickle
Pickle
Rick.
Rick.
I love it.
Majin Buu.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, just stuff that I grew up watching as a child, and it's like great to see it like in front of me. Like, it's very inspiring.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
These are all very inspiring things. Like Rick and Morty is one of the most, I would say, groundbreaking like cartoons that's came out in a long time.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh was obviously a hit when we were younger, and I was still playing that game like recently.
Oh, hell yeah.
It looks like you got some Halo stuff over here too.
Halo, bro.
Yeesh.
Fucking grew up playing that, dude.
Good times, man.
Good times.
Very good times.
Yeah, and then like going back to the visualization part,
Mhm.
it's like when you're visualizing, like I read this book called The Master Key System. It's kind of talked about the same thing about visualizing, but also, when you're in that moment, like the smell of the room, like really getting into it, like
Yeah.
how does that smell, or like, what are the sounds in that room that, I don't know, it's just like really visualizing.
Yeah, and putting yourself there. And I think that's something that's I really, I think I was trying to say this earlier, but I love the fact that people on social media and people in life are becoming okay with like therapy, are becoming okay with self-help, becoming okay with like, admitting like, hey man, like life's pretty tough. A lot of the times. It's not always like one perfect fucking, everyone's dancing around and like colorful, not everyone's having a great time.
Yeah.
And usually most of us have our ups and downs. And so I love that fact that a lot of people are getting more in touch with like self-help books or visualization and meditation and spirituality. Because it helps so much. Even meditation, like I'm trying to incorporate meditation into every morning again.
That's good.
To just slow shit down. Yeah, it's just like those types of things that I wasn't personally taught, I guess, when I was a kid. Like I believed I had religion. I was, raised Lutheran, a Christian. But I was never really taught, like, what do I do when I'm stressed out? Like, what do I do when I feel depressed? Like, what do I do when I can't make sense of, certain things, or I feel, out of place in society? And learning to study, like, not just this, just the human experience, like learning how to study the human experience and knowing that, oh shit, people have wrote books about exactly what it is I'm going through right now. And then you read it and you're like, okay, that makes sense. Like, I love that that's getting pushed into the popular culture, because I feel like so many people, we're talking about like the topic of mental health, like that can help so many people that might not feel like, yeah, maybe you don't want therapy, but you can get a lot of self-help from just a book. Like just reading a book and understanding that someone else is going through it too.
Yeah.
I don't know where we started with that, but yeah.
Well, anyways, like just going off what you said, so like that book, it blows my mind that however long it took them to write that book, and also their experiences, putting that in that book.
Yeah.
Let's say it took them 10 years. You're getting 10 years of their life and experience into that one book.
Yeah.
And it costs like $20.
If that,
If that,
Yeah.
know? And it's like, it's also going back to investing. It's like you're investing $20 into your own mindset and, hopefully improving. So it's like, it's definitely worth the investment. Like,
100%, man.
And also, it's just like, for your mental health and all that stuff. And like,
Who's your so you said you're reading that book. Who are your favorite authors that you've came across in your life on this
favorite
journey?
authors, I would say Napoleon Hill. You probably read
Yeah.
Think or Grow Rich.
Yeah.
One of the books that really inspired me was he wrote a book called Outwitting the Devil.
Yeah,
You read that book?
that one's a trip, dude.
That one's a trip. And it
That
was
one's good
weird
though.
because I had an experience off of weed,
Uh-huh.
which like I thought I was talking to the devil.
Yep.
So at the time I think I was like fucking 18,
Mhm.
and that was a really troubling time in my life because I was
Uh-huh.
like, yo, what was that about? So
So
and then
like reading the book
reading the book,
kind of led you to that place or
finding that book, and I was like, Outwitting the Devil. So
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, like this might be good information.
Yeah.
And then reading that book, when he talked about interviewing the devil,
Yeah.
like, how do you get control of people? It's through ill will, like bad health,
Mhm.
fear.
Mhm.
So that really helped ground me and think like, yo, this, I don't know, it just helped me out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's a very yeah, I remember having the same experience. Like reading that book and being like, am I like I was high too and I was like, am I interviewing the devil right now?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that that's a banger. Napoleon Hill definitely was like fucking the J. Cole of the authors back
fuck,
there,
yeah,
dude.
that's such a good analogy.
He was the J. Cole of authors back then, man. He did some good stuff. But other than that, who else? Who else are you?
Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad
Okay.
Poor Dad.
Yeah.
What else? Arnold Schwarzenegger's book. Fuck, I want to know the name of that book.
Is it an audiobook that you're listening to?
No, it is they're all books that I've read.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Recall. It's called Recall.
Okay.
Yeah. That book helped me out. Just hearing his story and like where he came from. Like we were talking, kind of going back to what we were talking about, reading stories.
Yeah.
Him coming from Austria, then fucking becoming Mr. Olympia,
Yeah.
and then becoming the governor of California, and then a fucking movie star. I'm like, damn, I gotta know his fucking mindset. So like that helped me out.
Yeah, man. He kind of just accomplished everything he wanted, huh?
Right? Yeah, he did, dude.
I think that is huge because I feel like success leaves clues, and if you do what people do, say what they say, you're gonna get what they get.
Yeah.
And obviously, these are all regurgitated things from things I've read in books and shit. But I think that's beautiful, man. Like that's an underrated thing as well. Like read a memoir. If you want to be like someone, just read their book or study them on YouTube and their interviews and what they talk about, what they did, and you'll usually end up. And that's huge for you with bodybuilding or with your fitness goals.
Yeah.
Like that's probably the best person you could look at.
For real. And then also, if you want to, I feel like you do need, like you said, like a lighthouse, kind of like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or if you want to be like a J. Cole or, fucking Kendrick, you can study those people.
Yep.
I think Kobe Bryant studied Michael Jordan, and it's like having those people to base off of what you're doing. It's really, really important, I feel like.
100%.
Yeah.
Like those people literally have like said, "This is what I did. This is how you can do it." And then all you got to do is do it.
Yeah.
Like your way, obviously, but they're just like, "Hey, man, like here's a blueprint."
Yeah.
And you just got to commit to it.
Yeah, because there aren't really like there aren't clear blueprints of stuff, and studying people, it kind of gives you that blueprint.
100%. It's
Yeah.
like that's why I feel. Yeah, there's another. I don't know if I want to go down this route all the way, but with schooling and stuff, I feel like I have no problem with the way that school. I do think the price of schooling is intense. I feel like it's pretty out there, but I feel like there's the YouTube University.
Yep, graduated from YouTube University.
YouTube University
Still
is
studying.
fucking an endless plethora of knowledge that is like pretty much has no ending to it. Especially in the country that we live in, like freedom or like knowledge, the freedom to this type of knowledge isn't everywhere.
Yeah.
And like we're so lucky to live in a place where you can have access to all of this information. And I literally have learned and I hate admitting this, but I've learned just as much about music production from watching a free YouTube video than I did when I paid to go to school.
Yeah.
And the end result has been the same thing, which is making music. So but but yeah, man, I think that knowledge is it's it's free. It's pretty much free at this point, and
Yeah.
it's just there, like waiting to be consumed.
For real, dude.
So,
And then I feel like it's up to the person.
hmm
It's like the knowledge is there. Like, what are you gonna do with it?
yeah, it's just like it's just putting everything into action. So, yeah, man,
Hell yeah.
good shit.
Let's go.
Any other questions that you have for me, or
Yeah, I was gonna ask. So the video series that you're working on.
yes?
One video dropped.
So it's I released it as one YouTube video. There's three, I would say there's three acts to it. So the first act is me going through, like, kind of just, it's more of like a spoken word song. It's about 2 minutes long, and it's me just talking about the hardships of being, going out and trying to accomplish something like this, or being a musician or an artist. I think a lot of artists can, relate to the path that you have to take to put up with all the people telling you, like, hey, this might not be a good idea. Why don't you do something that has a good financial end to it, to where you're going to have stability, going through the ups and downs of that, and then, like, what mentality it can kind of, like, stress on you. Then it goes into me. The next song is more of a song with a chorus and, like, an upbeat song that talks about, like, hey, like, I've committed to this. I'm going to have fun with it, and I'm going to go with it. And the last song is me, just another kind of spoken word about just enjoying life. And it's like a 3-act video. 3 videos total, 3 songs total, but 1 YouTube video, if that makes sense.
Oh, like kind of like different.
Yeah, you'll if you play it.
Yeah,
It's,
where can people watch that?
just if you type in Mojee on YouTube, just Mojee, it should pop up. And yeah, you'll see my my little icon on there. It should be me. It'll picture me. But yeah, just type in Mojee, and you can type in like Mojee El Capitan or Mojee Meadows.
Mojee.
Mojee. Instagram's Mojee32, so Mojee32. And then Twitter, if you're on there, it's Mojee32, like literally it's Mojee32. And then yeah, man. And then Spotify, just type in Mojee, Mojee. Apple, on any of that stuff. Tidal Music. If you're on Amazon Music for whatever reason, you're on there. I'll be on there, just waiting to be heard. But yeah, man, that was a fun project. It was very fun. We filmed in Yosemite, which I saw you guys went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet. We're gonna go November.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it was probably like a throwback picture that we
Okay.
posted. Yeah,
I was like, oh shit, he went.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we went to Yosemite, dude, and that was the first video. It was just, we got an Airbnb, set up the studio in the house, recorded some shit, mixed some stuff, went out into the park the next day and filmed all around the park. The next video is just like kind of around where my buddy lives in Santa Barbara, and then the next one was in my buddy's car. And it was just like it was a very fun project to just not only like write the music, record the music, but filming it. It was very fun, and it's the first time I've had that much involvement with the video side. So it was like my baby. It was like my first, like, hey, this is kind of what I'm going to be showing you guys.
So you kind of like
visuals wise
directed it in a way. You did direct it.
Yeah, so it was the first one I directed, like, mostly myself.
Nice.
With the help, really, like, with a lot of help, my buddy Thomas, who's primarily my producer, but he helped me film it, and he helped me with direction and ideas that we could use to, get across the message that I was trying to portray.
Nice.
So it was fun, man. Yeah, that'll be on YouTube if you guys want to check it out. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, bro, I'm fucking glad we did this.
Yeah, man.
As always.
I'm very glad we got to finally, like, hopefully audio is good.
We're going to check it out.
And we can show you guys, and you guys can dive into our minds a bit. But I'm looking forward to maybe being back again in the future.
As always, dude.
Yeah, man.
You're always welcome.
Hell yeah. All right. Deuces, guys.
Peace.
Later.